Welcome back to the S10 Life YouTube channel. This is my daily driver. I've had this truck for 11 years, LS swapped for 8, daily driving it. The whole time it's been LS swapped, and it's been turbocharged for the last 4 years. This is a 1988 base model S10, which means it had manual steering, manual brakes from the factory. In fact, it still has manual brakes, but recently I swapped it to power steering. We had a ZQ8 parts truck come in here. If you guys ever need any used parts, holler at us, we had a ton. So we put that ZQ8 gearbox on here, quick steer gear ratio gearbox. We put that on here. Now we have power steering on this base model S10. But if you look around in the engine bay up here, it's not the prettiest, but one thing you'll notice about this turbocharged S10 is that there is no turbocharger underneath the hood of this thing. This is a rear mount turbocharged vehicle. This is the piping going into the firewall right there. It comes out of the firewall, takes a 90-degree turn, goes through the floorboard, runs underneath of the truck to the turbo that's underneath the bed in here. If you want to check out more about that turbo setup, go see other videos we've got on the channel. But right now we're going to move to the interior. So on manual steering S10s, they will usually have a larger diameter steering wheel. In fact, the one that was on this from the factory was a little bit bigger than this one. But I swapped it to this one. I think it's 15.5 or so. When I started LS swapping it, this was one of my purchases. Grant GT steering wheel, and I never put it on there because it was a small diameter steering wheel and it was a manual steering truck, which would have made it a pain to drive in a parking lot. Now that it's power steering, I've got the adapter bracket. We're going to take off this factory wheel and put the Grant GT wheel on. This is the Grant GT wheel that's going on there. This is the Grant 3196. That comes with all this right here to attach this to the S10. It's got essentially the hub adapter. This is going to slide on to your factory steering column shaft. It's going to spline right in. It's got 3 bolt holes right there. This has a triangulation of 3 bolt holes right there. It came with bolts to mount it down to it. It came with wires for the horn, 2 springs, and this little black coupler tube. Also came with the horn mechanism there. We've already done videos on how to remove steering wheels, and we're not going to waste time on that here, so go check that out on this video right there. Bad news, the piece where this all connects to for the horn is broken off. There is supposed to be a little cylindrical piece of plastic sticking out right there, and this would have slid down in there and locked into that. This came with the kit. This piece is broken on mine, and I will not be having a horn on there, so I cannot show you that, but the instructions comes with everything you need to install it on yours. The thing that goes on is the hub adapter assembly, and it is labeled top, and you should have your steering wheel and everything straight before you ever take your wheel off. I should have mentioned that. My wheel is straight. I've got this thing with the top facing up, and I'm going to slide it into place. On the closest spline it will take it on. And it slid right on. This nut down into place. Feels good already. There's so much more clearance right here. I'm digging it. Alright, continuing on, I'm going to finish tightening these bolts here down. It specifically mentioned not to over torque these, and that's most likely because that hub's some type of cast aluminum or something. We've got the button installed now, and essentially what it is that orange and silver button mechanism inside of here that's got the triangulated 3 bolt holes. It has 3 notches cut out in it, and this horn button has 3 detents in it. And when you've got everything lined up, you have the detents in place, push in on this steering wheel button all the way down, and then turn it to straight up, and now it's in place. And I wish that my horn worked, but it looks good.
Yeah, we'll get it fixed.
For sure.
Yeah, so it has that light now too.
Before I let you guys go, I want to tell you that we have these wooden door handles handmade for 86 to 93 S-Series, 94 Blazers. And you can get them custom made to your color, your wood, your style. We also have Endura pins. This is our best seller on our website. These are tool steel grade door pins and bushings. They have a row pin that holds them in right there. These door pins have a lifetime guarantee. S10s are phenomenal for having the worst door pins on the market. Some people have told me horror stories of putting new Dorman door pins in there and they break as soon as they close the door. These bad boys, they're gonna hold for you. They're gonna last. Go to s10life.org and check them out. This is the wheel that we just took out of the S10. This is an identical copy of the wheel we just installed. I'm gonna take a tape measure and show you the difference in these 2 wheels right here, just so you can get an idea of why I hadn't put this in there until I did the power steering swap. So this one is a grand total of 15 inches and 3/4 of an inch. This one is less than 13.5 inches. So you're talking about 2 inches smaller diameter, and some of you guys, I know that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot.